Hello, my name is Fraser2098.
And I'm Sam Eden TV.
And welcome to another episode of Durarara XX Shou Season 2, episode... Is it episode 4, Sam?
It's 4.
Episode 4. Alright, so episode 4... Episode 4 starts not where we last left off. Well, it does, yeah, but in a way that it doesn't it does explain. It's doing the Durarara thing again, but in a completely different manner. And here's what happens. Basically, Celti's getting chased by the biker gang, and Dodichin, the guy in the van, just beat up these these zebra-like gang, and now they're running away. Celti's running, and Dodichin and his gang, and Mikado with Henri and Aoba and the twin sisters all in one van, and they're running away. Well, they're driving away from the zebra gang. And what ends up happening is actually quite weird. Celti's actually carrying this bag that she got paid 800,000 yen to do it. And they explain why it's that amount and why she's doing it. And a hand comes out. And it's actually the hand of the Russian guy who was saved by the twin sisters of Izaya. So what ends up happening is she and Dodichin and his gang escape, but Celti puts up like this black spider-like barrier and fights the gang. And then Hollywood Murderer comes to help Celti, and the arm of the Russian actually comes up and helps Celti, but the reason he's helping Celti is because Henri has control of him, and the reason she has control of him is because they explain in the episode is that she had already pierced his hand with her blade, and she did this when they were at karaoke, and he placed his hand on her shoulder, and the blade kind of stuck out. So yeah, they explain that. It was cleverly well done. So what ends up happening now is while they're fighting, they beat them all, and Celti escapes, but before escaping, she gives two pieces of advice. One is to stay away from this one cop. He is a monster. And the second is if you see a bartender, do not fight him. And it's very funny because they already had fought him and got their ass kicked. So after that happens, the zebra gang is looking around for Salty but can't, so they're like, okay, we might as well fight this other gang. And Tom is walking, and they're like, hey, you, what's the most powerful gang ever? And then he's like, why, you gonna go fight him? He's like, yeah, maybe. And what ends up happening is one of the zebra gang gets like this metal pole, and he hits Shizuo's arm. His Starbucks falls, and his shirt is ripped a bit. And Shizuo doesn't really care about the Starbucks, but he cares about his clothes getting ripped that was sent from his kid brother. So you know what he does. He does his thing. So after that happens, they're having... Salty is trying to cook, but she asks Henri can't cook, which is stupid because she lives by herself. So you think she'd be able to cook because she lives by herself. So that was kind of stupid.
No, people who live by themselves don't. That doesn't mean they can cook by default.
You live by yourself. You think you can provide for yourself. You're not gonna have takeout every day. You can
still provide for yourself. Doesn't mean you can cook well.
No, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that.
You're not buying reality?
No, I'm not buying that you can't cook well. It's like I'm not buying that you can't cook at all. Like I'm pretty sure you could cook something.
No, she could probably cook. She's just probably not very good.
Well,
or she didn't want to cook.
Oh, she didn't want to cook, yeah. And then she asked the anime girl for help, and she's like, sorry, I don't know anything about traditional Japanese cooking. And then they asked the girl who's dating Nami's brother, you know, the one with Salty's head, but it's not Salty's head, it just looks identical. And she's cooking them, and then she's like, yeah, we gotta wait a couple days. And she's like, oh, I can't wait a couple days. So they have a hot pot, and it's nice. And then Izaya's there, and he's like, hey, Nami, wanna have a hot pot? And Nami's like, just because your friends on the internet's having a hot pot doesn't mean I'm gonna have a hot pot with you, buddy. And then you realize how lonely Izaya actually is, and the fact that he has no friends. You've got no friends. Anyway, so after that
he doesn't care.
Yeah, but it's just kind of sad from a point of view that, oh, this guy doesn't have any friends, and he relies on Nami, and Nami doesn't give a shit. So yeah, there's that. Anyways, we later on in the episode realized that the arm in the bag was a setup. Basically, after the twin sisters had saved the Russian guy, they paid for his medical bills of 200,000, mind you, that's a lot. And after doing so, they thought of a plan, and the plan was basically, we're gonna meet Salty. So they paid basically Salty 800,000 because they found her million yen. So they basically gave it back to her, but in a secretive kind of way. So what ends up happening is basically they go to the Russian guy who's working at the sushi place. Hey, you give Salty this money and this guy in the bag, and we're gonna meet Salty. And of course the plan fails, but you know, whatever. So the Russian guy is now with the twins, and he's actually he's the 7th deadliest Russian there is in Durarara, like in Russia, basically in the Durarara universe, if you want to call it that. I think Simon's number 1. You know, the black sushi guy. I
thought that too. That'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah, like Simon's number 1. Like because remember when he smacked Izaya, like he just just punched him and Izaya flew.
Mm.
Holy crap. I think he's number 1. And I think the other guy, the white guy who works with Simon in the Russian place, could also be a potential number. Probably not a high number, but like you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, that's very possible.
Yeah, like not a very big number or something like that. Anyway, so after that happens, we see Aoba, and Aoba's talking with this gang of friends, one of them being a Neko, because, Japanese culture is all about those cat people. Hey, that could be a reference. What do you think?
What do you mean that could be a reference?
It's a reference to Spice and Wolf.
That is not even remotely true.
No, potentially. No, it's potentially. You don't know.
They already referenced Spice Wolf in season 1, and that was... But it wouldn't make sense, though, because Holo is a fox. That dude's a cat.
Yeah, but they have ears, so...
There's more than one show with people with animal ears.
Yeah, that's true. So anyways, he's talking with his gang, and he's like, okay, we're gonna have some fun, we're gonna cause a bit of a mess. Basically, he's like, okay, he really looks up to Mikado. Like, that one scene where they're in the car, and Mikado's kind of like getting worried, but he's not actually worried. In fact, he was smiling, which indicates that he was having fun with the situation. So he's like, we're gonna have some fun, but we gotta take down Izaya first. But he's like, don't touch his sisters, because they kissed me, and I like that. And that was weird. But the guy calls him Izumi, and he's like, I don't like to be called by my brother's name. Now, we Googled this because we were like, who's Izumi? So we realized that Izumi was actually the guy who was the leader of the Blue Squares who captured... who was the girl he captured?
I don't remember.
Okay, basically, he captured douchebag Mikimo's girlfriend, the guy with the blonde hair, and broke her legs. That guy. So, after we knew that, we were like, oh, wow, Aoba is probably evil. Like, he is a little Izaya, basically. And then we get a scene with Izaya, and Izaya's like, I'm done from, having a vacation. Time to stir shit up now. So finally, we might see Izaya do something, and we get some more input on Aoba. But then also there's a gang, and this gang is doing something, but nothing really is happening with this gang as of yet, but they could be important later on in the series. So anyways, now for kind of a reaction. This was a weird episode, to say the least. This was an episode in which a lot of the pieces were, again, fitting perfectly into place, and characters who we have never seen before are finally getting related, like with Aoba, the fact that his brother was in season 1, but now we get to see Aoba now, so who knows what Aoba is capable of, and the fact that Izai hasn't done anything, but he will be doing something soon. So what about you, Sam?
Yeah, this might actually be my favorite episode out of the 4 that they've shown so far.
Yeah, it's good.
Just because I like the bit towards the end where all of the main characters, apart from Izaya, are just sitting eating hot pot together.
Yeah, and then Izaya is all alone.
Yeah,
Nami, let's go eat food.
Yeah, I do like the fact that all the characters that we know pretty much are all kind of friends with each other, and then there's just Izaya.
Yeah, and then there's Izaya, and Izaya is all alone with Nami, and Nami just doesn't give a shit.
And it was good seeing the, how they worked out everything, like who the person in the bag was, why he was there. Because for the most part, I was confused as hell until they explained that.
What about the part where his, glowing red eyes, and I had to explain that to you?
Oh, yeah, that took me a second. Because the bit where it turns out, she stabbed him through her shoulder, wasn't it? Yeah. I thought, that little piece of metal came out of his sleeve. I don't know why I thought that.
Yeah, but now you know.
Yeah, I'm probably the only one who actually thought that. But yeah, now that you explain it to me, it does make a lot of sense, and it's quite a good twist or explanation.
Yeah, because now she has control over that guy.
Yeah, does she have control of him whenever she wants now?
Whenever she wants.
Oh, okay. Because
that's the power of her sword. She
okay.
If she just kind of pierces you a bit, just a little tap or something, it has to make contact with your skin, and if it does, she can control you as long as she wants.
So I'm assuming that's probably going to come into play later on in the show.
Probably.
At least I'd be very surprised if it didn't.
Yeah.
I want to see Izaya do something.
Izaya is one of my favorite characters, and I want him to see... Because he's fine. Remember, at the end of the episode, he's like, I'm going to stir shit up now.
Yeah, he said, vacation's over, you lazy bastards, or something like that.
Yeah, it's time to put the spark into motion or something like that, yeah.
So I'm glad he's finally doing something.
Next episode doesn't look like he's going to be doing anything, but he will eventually be doing something.
Yeah, I want to see what he does.
Yeah,
because I don't even remember what he was doing in season 1.
In season 1...
Other than just fucking with people.
In season 1, he was just fucking with a lot of people, and Salty's head. He also has Salty's head.
Oh, yeah, that was the Salty's head thing.
Which he may or may not give back. Who knows? I don't know what he's actually going to do with the head, or whatever, but whatever. Anyways, I have been Fraser298.
And I've been Sam Eaton TV.
Let us know in the comment section down below your thoughts and opinions of Durarara this episode. If you want to see more Izaya, stay tuned by subscribing to this channel. Subscribe to Sam's channel down below, even though the guy has only posted one video and two.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see the second one. All right, I'll watch that later. Anyways, bye guys.
Bye.